Hello everyone, welcome back to 9G Studios. Today's conversation is going to be about intercoolers and some of the things I've learned over the last few months of turbo intercoolers and turbochargers, especially on the diesel with the fire truck. First off, let me show you my math. I apologize for the crudeness of my old school board here, but you'll see across the top where it says RPL, which is replace. If I was to replace the intercooler for the original intercooler that belongs on this Duramax LMM, you can see that the core size is 16.5 inches high by 34 inches long by 2 inches deep, which mathematically gives me about 1,122 square cubic inches. Excuse me, I forgot to put the square in there for those math majors. With an inlet and outlet size of 3 inches. Now, when I picked up the truck, because of the cab over being put where it was, they pulled the original intercooler and replaced it with what was INST, which is installed at a 5.5 inch high by 21.5 inch long by 2.5 inch deep, which only gave me a 295.6 square cubic inch core with a 2.5 inch inlet. Now, I plan on using and replacing that because I don't think it's doing, to me logically, it doesn't sound like the installed intercooler would do the work for the Duramax, particularly if I have a load on it or anything like that. So I'm going to increase the size of the intercooler. The new one is an 11.75 inch high by 24 inch long by 3.5 inch deep, which gives me 986 square cubic inches with a 3 inch in and outlet. Now, you'll notice down at the bottom, the reason why getting air to this with an opening in the grill that's only 12 inches high by 32 inches long, you can see where the challenges come in. So let me put this back here a little bit. So we have a little mock-up here. Excuse the crudity of my mock-up. You can see that this is this one right here is the intercooler that was installed. Okay, I won't say much more about it. Go in the parts bin to go up for sale. This is the new intercooler right here. In addition to the intercooler, puts bungee cord to the back of it, and excuse the crudity of it, I got to figure out how to make a bracket for it and get it put up in there. So I'm going to call this a cold box, if you will, so that I can try to get air not only go through the intercooler, through the air conditioning piece, aftermarket air conditioning piece they had installed in the back of the truck, but to get all that air to come up and shoot towards the radiator of the truck, because once the cab is down, there's like the top quarter of the radiator that's blocked by part of the cab. So I need to get that air to flow into the radiator and then up so that it can try to cool that radiator at the same time. So there's probably going to be a pretty extensive air scoop put on to grab the air from underneath or above and get it directed or channeled towards it. Now, I added a fan. I'm cheap. I got to use what I can get my hands on, otherwise I'm having to do a lot of research finding parts that'll fit. This particular fan came off a 2005 Dodge Magnum. It's a dual fan system, as you can see in the back there. So I cut the edges off of it, and I'll clean all that up and get this all neatly boxed in as best I can. This air conditioning intercooler, I'll call it that. I'm not sure what it's called right now, but came with a fan. So again, hopefully pull the air from the bottom and up and get it to go up in that aspect. So that's where I am at with that design process. I will give a shout out to Rock Auto, only because they didn't supply me with nothing. Okay, first and foremost, they're not a supplier of me. I buy from them, but just a heads up for any of you builders out there trying to figure things out. Rock Auto was the only one that I could find that actually told me the dimensions of the intercooler. They told me the intercooler dimension, core dimensions, but they don't tell you what the intercooler's outside dimensions, overall dimensions are. So my max width is about 34 inches. So I got tubing that I got to turn and curve on the sides, in between the frame rails, that sort of thing, unless I drop it slightly below the frame rails and then get it to go up. And so all of that fun and excitement is yet to come. So I appreciate everybody stopping by and liking and sharing and subscribing and doing all that other YouTube stuff. I'm not too keen on how YouTube works, but I enjoy doing the videos and sharing the information that I've discovered. By no means use it at your own risk, please. Do your research, double check. I may have made a mistake. I may have been off an inch or two here or there, or whatever the case might be, or your application might be something different than what I'm shooting for. But this is my current idea to get air flowing through the front of the fire truck. And for those of you who don't know what I mean by a fire truck, when this is a cab over, you can see that up front the opening is not very big, and I got to get the air to go back and up. So literally, if you look inside the cab, I'm literally sitting above the radiator as it is. So thanks for coming by, and I hope everybody's having a great time working on your project.